Do you feel constantly overwhelmed by the amount of digital clutter coming at you from seemingly every direction? In today's world of information overload, it is completely normal to feel overwhelmed and confused about what to do with all of this information and digital clutter. What if I told you that the secret to regaining a sense of control in your digital life and creating more time for the things you actually want to spend time on is simpler than you think? Today, I'm going to show you how organizing just 4 areas of your digital life can help you bring back some peace, some clarity, and some flow back into your day. So let's think about it like this. There are 4 key pillars to organizing your digital life. They are email, calendar, tasks, and notes. And when these 4 areas are properly organized, it will help to set the foundation for you to regain a sense of control in your digital life, to find that flow, that ease that we were talking about before, right? So I want to offer this simple framework to use to address how we think about the information coming into our digital worlds. So incoming information typically is landing into our email. For some of us, it might be Slack or Teams messages, texts, phone calls, or frankly, just the digital content that we are consuming on a day-to-day basis. But for many of us, the majority of the information is coming into our email inboxes. And from there, that information will trickle down into one of the other pillars: calendar, tasks, and notes. So let's walk through this in a little bit more detail. Let's start with email. Your inbox is often the starting point for everything. New information is coming in that some form of action needs to be taken with any given email. Now, sometimes that action might be just simply deleting or archiving it, but typically there's some sort of response that needs to occur, some sort of funneling into one of the other 3 pillars. Either a meeting needs to be scheduled, or a task needs to be created, or a note needs to be created for that email. The key here is turning your inbox into a command center that feeds directly into one of the other 3 pillars, turning this into a purposeful inbox rather than just an inbox of chaos. The first pillar that an email might go is onto your calendar. This is where everything should be tracked. And when I say everything, I mean everything. All of your tasks, personal, business, everything should be living side by side on your calendar. However, if your calendar is super cluttered or not integrated with your task list, then you will probably feel lost and overwhelmed and miss appointments with no real foundation to live your daily, day-to-day, and week-to-week activities. Use your calendar, not just to schedule meetings, hear me loud and clear, but also for your tasks, right? Because when we have our tasks on our calendar, it also gives us a sense of how much time we have in our daily lives. We very so often overestimate how much time we have to complete things on a day-to-day basis. So I really urge you to also list your tasks in your calendar. So again, using your calendar not only to schedule meetings, but to block out time for the important tasks helps use your calendar as an active tool and not just a passive list of appointments. All right, next up we have tasks. So you probably have a running list of tasks. I know many of my clients have lists all over the place on Post-it notes, in paper notebooks, on different various apps on their devices. But without a proper system, that list can grow and feel insurmountable, and the needle will never really move forward on any of your projects and tasks. In Google Calendar, and there are other platforms out there, too many to list, but for Google Calendar, you can actually integrate your task list within your calendar itself. Up here, you can switch back and forth from calendar to tasks. And you can create different lists for different tasks, which I find really helpful, especially for those recurring task lists. I name this random tasks. This, of course, is a burner account for the purposes of recording videos, but still, I do name my plants, and I need to fertilize them quarterly. So I create a task list that typically has reminders on a recurring basis, and then those tasks, those reminders, show up on my calendar, and I can place them at what time during the day I'm going to have to complete that task. So there are a ton of apps out there that can help you manage your task list. But really the trick, the name of the game, is just picking one and then sticking to it. Just choose one and just use that one. All right, finally, let's talk about notes. So you may get an email that isn't necessarily a task to be done, but it could be a quick idea or a meeting summary or just something that you want to remember. You know, maybe it could be part of your ideation or creative process for something that you're working on and you need a place to put it. Again, there are many, many apps out there for digital note-taking. I have OneNote up here as an example. It's my personal favorite because I've been using it for years and it works, so I stick with it. I don't see a need to change, but there are tons of them. And again, the idea is to choose one and stick with it and use it for all of your notes. And if you keep your notes organized by topic or project or in a way that works for you, then you can easily pull up the information that you need when you want it without wasting time searching through various places. So let's paint the picture. When all 4 pillars are organized and flowing together, you have a seamless flow of information coming into your life, into your day-to-day activities, and you have a really nice system through which to make decisions and initiate action based on the 4 pillars. You are no longer reacting to chaos, and instead you're proactively managing all of your responsibilities and your tasks and creating space for what truly matters: your family and your friends, your job, and of course, reruns of Modern Family. Now, I know that this might feel overwhelming, but trust me, it doesn't have to be, I promise. Just start small. Start with 1 pillar to begin with and get it really clean and decluttered and organized. Have a really great system. And then do the next pillar and the next pillar. And before you know it, you will have a really nice flow of systems in your digital life to feel organized and on top of things. And you will see that it really becomes easier to manage everything. And if you're like, hey, I want to start now, Caitlin, amazing. I invite you to watch my next video where it is going to be the first of a 4-video series walking you through how to organize and set up a system for your inbox.